Have you been dealing with dizziness or vertigo that just won't go away? Maybe you tried Epley maneuvers to help the crystals in your ear. Maybe you've been to vestibular therapy. You've tried different medications. You've had all the tests done. And that frustrating part is the dizziness and vertigo keeps coming back. It won't go away. In today's video, I'm going to go over 5 of the most common reasons why dizziness and vertigo won't go away. And most importantly, I'm going to give you some easy, practical things that you can do to start feeling better immediately. Reason number 1, you're treating the wrong problem. The first reason your dizziness or vertigo might not be getting better is you could have the wrong diagnosis. In most cases, if you have dizziness or vertigo, most people think it's probably an inner ear problem. And there's a very common disorder that maybe you've heard of called BPPV, benign proximal positional vertigo. This is a disorder where the crystals are dislodged in the ear and it's giving a false sense of rotation. So if you get dizzy or vertigo rolling in bed or maybe turning your head suddenly, most healthcare practitioners might immediately think of this BPPV. But here's an interesting piece of information about this. The lifetime prevalence of BPPV is only 2 to 3%. So if we have 1,000 people and we follow them for their whole lifetime, only 2 to 3% of these people are going to get BPPV. Moreover, studies show that most cases only last about a couple weeks and it clears up. So if you have a dizziness or a vertigo that persists, it lasts all day, all week, all month, way longer than 2 weeks. Or maybe you've had 12 or 14 different Epley maneuvers and you're told that your dizziness is probably coming from your inner ear. We've got to look a little deeper. Question, do you have tightness in your upper neck? Do you have headaches that stem from the base of the head? Do you have limited stiff range of motion? If you answered yes and you have this persistent dizziness, you could be having what's called cervicogenic dizziness. For you to be balanced, you need your information from your eyes, you need the information from your ears, but you also need information from your neck. So if you have that problem, it can easily trigger dizziness and vertigo. If you find that you do have cervical vertigo, now what we need to do is get you with an expert, maybe someone who's a certified manual therapist, someone in your area that's comfortable and has a lot of history with treating these. That would be my advice there. Now let's look at our second reason why your dizziness and vertigo might not be getting better. Reason number 2, you're doing the wrong exercises. Reason number 2, you could be doing the wrong exercises. Exercises that don't match your problem. For example, if you've been sent to therapy to help you with dizziness and vertigo, called vestibular therapy, they're often going to give you exercises where you move your head back and forth kind of rapidly while you're looking at one object. And then you might go up and down. You might do this while you're standing. You might do this while you're walking. You might do exercises where you go this way and that way. Now, if you have a brain to ear problem, these exercises have been shown to help with dizziness. In that scenario, the idea is you're helping your brain and your ears kind of reconnect. However, if you have cervical dizziness or cervicogenic dizziness, as we talked before, and your neck's in a really bad way, guess what? When your neck's in a bad way, it does not want to go quick to the right, to the left, up or down. These exercises could easily overdo it, overstimulate the neck, cause a lot of tightness and pain. Many times my patients will tell me, I went to vestibular therapy, they didn't ask if I had a neck problem, and man, my neck was really sore from maybe a recent whiplash or maybe just slept on the pillow wrong. As they did these exercises, it made them sick. Sometimes they would throw up. They would leave with a severe headache. And they would go day after day, week after week, and at the end of it, they were still dizzy, and now they're having frequent headaches on top of the dizziness. So we've got to keep that in mind. If you're doing the wrong exercises for the wrong disorder, not only could it not make you better, but it could easily make you worse. Now let's get into our third reason why you might not be getting better. This one surprises a lot of people. So if you're enjoying today's video, but you want to dive deeper, don't miss my new book, Cervicogenic Dizziness Relief, A Complete Guide to a Dizzy-Free Life. In my book, I put all of my home exercises, all the treatments that I give my patients every day in the clinic. There's many books out there to help with dizziness and vertigo, but very few books that focus on dizziness that comes from the neck. So I'll put the link below, check it out, it could be a great resource. Now let's get back to the video. Reason number 3, you stopped moving because you're afraid of dizziness. This third reason for your dizziness and vertigo not getting better is a super common one that I hear. When you feel bad and you have dizziness and you vertigo, Maybe you feel unsafe getting up and walking. It's natural to want to sit down in a safer place or maybe lie back or lie down. But if you have cervical vertigo or cervicogenic dizziness that we mentioned before, what happens when you lie down or sit down is your neck gets weaker, your neck gets stiffer, and that weakness and stiffness leads to more dizziness and vertigo. So the more inactive you get, the worse the problem becomes. So in this scenario, if you can get up every 30 or 40 minutes, maybe walk 2 or 3 minutes with a nice tall posture with your chin neutral. If you can get your chin neutral, that's the strongest and safest position for your neck. So look in the mirror. How do you normally carry your chin? Do you carry your chin kind of tilted up? Do you carry your head a little too far forward? Look in the mirror, correct it to that neutral position, and then as you're getting up every 30 or 40 minutes, try walking through your house. Even if you have to walk next to a wall, but being up and being active, that's going to start bringing that exercise that you need to get the neck doing better. Here's a little exercise that I show my patients. I have a little canvas bag. Inside of it is about 4 ounces of beads from the craft store. This could be a bag at home with cookie sprinkles. It could be popcorn, whatever you have. But if I put this little bag right on the top of my head, it creates a little bit of weight-bearing stimulus through the neck. Weight-bearing is the thing that turns my corrective neck muscles back on. Once your neck's been sore for a while, it starts to suck the strength out of it. That allows your vertebrae to start to move around more than they should. That's going to cause excessive tension and tightness. And if you're tight in the upper neck, it could easily trigger headaches or dizziness. So this might sound counterintuitive, but if I put a gentle, pain-free amount of weight bearing through the neck, it excites the muscles that protect the neck. It excites the muscles that relax in your neck. So you put this on, you get a nice neutral posture, and maybe you walk around in your house for 2 or 3 minutes. If it starts to make you feel like you're getting a headache or you're dizzy, take it off, dump some of the rice or beans or beads, whatever you have, and retry it. But if you can add just a few ounces and get your neck in a nice neutral posture and just start walking around 3, 4, 5, 6 times during the day, it's a beautiful therapeutic exercise to improve your neck strength and stability and decrease your dizziness. Now let's look at our 4th reason. Reason number 4, you've lost range of motion of your neck. Reason number 4 surprises a lot of my patients. If you have a limited range of motion in your neck, maybe you can only turn about 45 degrees to the right or 45 degrees to the left, or maybe just slightly more, but that's your normal. You've lived with that for a long time, but coincidentally, you also have frequent dizziness and vertigo. That limited range of motion and tightness is a very common cause of dizziness and vertigo, called cervicogenic dizziness. I have many patients that tell me, I don't really feel like my neck's a problem. It doesn't hurt that much. I just can't turn it that well. And in this scenario, I'll do a simple test. This is an easy test you could do on yourself. I'll have the person kind of stand near a wall and maybe stand on one leg. Maybe at first you stand on your right leg with your left leg bent. And then you look to see if you can let go and hold it for 10 seconds. Or do you need to put your foot down immediately? Do you lose your balance? Then I'll do the other side. Stand on the other leg and lift the other leg up. Can you hold that for 10 seconds? And then you start to get an idea of which side is more off balance. Let's say you do that test and you notice when you stand on your right leg, it's way harder to balance on one leg than when you stand on your left. Now what we do is check your neck range of motion. Can you turn your neck to the right? And how does that compare to the left? Frequently, I'll see a patient that has worse balance on the right side, and they also coincidentally have worse range of motion on the right side. In that scenario, I do a technique to loosen up their neck so they can rotate a little better, and then I'll immediately go back to that test of standing on one leg to see if that made an improvement. It's surprising. In many cases, I'll see an immediate improvement in single leg standing balance. The patient will say, wow, I would have never put these two together, that my stiff neck and my balance were actually one and the same. So the technique that I do all the time and that I show my patients on day 1, I'm going to show it to you guys. I've got a little band over here. This is called a Mulligan cervical strap. Famous therapist from New Zealand years ago, Brian Mulligan, invented this. It's a great technique for upper cervical problems. So I'm going to put this band right underneath my earlobes, and then I'm going to line this up with the tip of my nose. That's going to put this right over my very first neck bone, the C1 vertebra. Now, let's go with a scenario that maybe turning to the right is my most limited position, or maybe turning to the right makes me feel dizzy. In that case, I'm going to line this up, and here's the detail. I drop the right side, come up empty-handed, and now I'm going to feed the strap over to my left hand. I'm going to line it up with the tip of my nose. This hand is just going to hold on to the strap to make sure it stays in place. I don't want it to slide out. And then with just fingertip pressure, I'm going to rotate my neck to the right. The strap's doing all the work. It's taking me. And I only go as far as I can without tightness, pain, or dizziness. So when you try this, make sure you're not pulling really hard. If you do, sometimes the neck will tense up and it won't go at all. So you gently pull, keep it glued to your face. That's another common error. People will hold it off their face and it doesn't help very much. So you keep it next to your face, rotate to the right as far as you can comfortably, and then you come right back. I don't hold it. It's not a stretch. It's a joint mobilization. It's osteopathic. Try it once or twice only, and then reassess and see how you feel. If you notice, now you can rotate better to the right, it's less dizzy, it's less sore, then you could do the same test that we talked about. Go back over to the wall, stand on one leg, and see if it's a little better. Sometimes it's surprising how much better your balance feels just with getting your neck to loosen up. This technique, if it works well for you, I mentioned on day one, just do it twice and reassess. But if you establish that it doesn't make you feel bad, and you definitely can do it, then you could do up to 6 reps as one set. And you could do that 2 or 3 times during the day. There was a 2014 study where they did this and it had a really big improvement on decreasing dizziness and headaches. So that's the C1 snag. Give it a try. Now let's look at our final reason why your dizziness and headache won't get better. Reason number 5, you've weakness in your deep neck flexors. For our 5th and final reason why your dizziness and vertigo might not be getting better, we have to look into the muscles of the neck, especially the muscles deep in the front of the neck. They play a huge supportive role. They protect your vertebra from constantly slipping out of place. If it's tight or pinching at the upper neck, it could easily cause dizziness and vertigo. Pain weakens the muscles. Low activity weakens this muscle group. And so we've got to get this strength back if we want to stop persistent episodes of dizziness and vertigo. So I'm going to show you an exercise that you can do to strengthen the muscles deep in the front of your neck called the deep neck flexors. It's an exercise I teach my patients all the time. We're going to do an isometric exercise for your deep neck flexors. When I think of an isometric exercise, I think of that classic exercise where 2 hands are pressing against each other, but there's no relative motion. Now, if I press as hard as I can, we'll call that 100% effort. For this exercise, we only want 1 to 2% effort. This is going to be a light effort. I'm going to take a couple of my fingers, I'm going to put it underneath my chin, and then to activate my neck flexors, I'm going to slowly bring my chin down in contact to my fingers. But my fingers are going to be stationary. If my fingers weren't there, my chin would be nodding in that direction. So very light, 1 to 2% effort only. Gently bring your chin down into your fingers, and we're going to hold that for 6 to 8 seconds. Make sure that it's so light that it doesn't produce pain or tightness. If someone really went for it and they were pressing really hard, you could easily overstimulate the neck, and instead of feeling better, it could even make you feel dizzy. Start with this easy isometric, as we mentioned before, maybe 6 or 8 seconds, and build up to where you could do 5 or 10 reps. This is an easy exercise that you could do 2 or 3 times a day to start improving those deep neck flexors. It'll protect your neck and keep you out of trouble. So if your dizziness or vertigo won't go away, ask yourself these 5 questions. Am I treating the right cause of the dizziness? Am I doing the right exercises for my problem? Am I spending too much time in bed or sitting around and not being active? Does my neck feel stiff and I'm limited? And do I have weakness in my neck flexors? If you answered yes to all of these, then you may have what's called cervicogenic dizziness. In that case, you don't need maybe another medication or another treatment. What you need is to start getting your neck healthy. I'm going to put up a video over my shoulder of one of my exercise videos that I've made to give you the right exercises to get your strength and stability back that's been research proven to help. Click on this video, check it out, try some of the exercises, and drop me a comment and let me know if it helped. Well, if today's video gave you any help at all, do me a big favor, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future episode of Physio Tips Tomorrow. It's goodbye for now, and we'll see you next time on the next video.